allow Milton Friedman to tell you what he thinks about equality.
Is it possible to build a system based on this equality, which I believe that many people agree in, and would not be willing to sacrifice to the liberty?
In my opinion, a society that aims for equality before liberty will end up with neither equality nor liberty. And a society that aims first for liberty will not end up with equality, but it will end up with a closer approach to equality than any other kind of system that has ever been developed. You can only aim at equality by giving some people the right to take things from others. And what ultimately happens when you aim at equality is that A and B decide what C shall do for D. Except that they take a little bit of a commission off on the way.
So what inevitably happens is that A and B get insanely wealthy, and then people look at the inner party members and the bureaucrats, and they notice that they're not very equal. The inner party members, they live in luxurious mansions, they live in very nice places, they have a lot of power and sway, and meanwhile the common folk are starving. So people start asking, well, what happens with equality? And that's when the word equity pops up all of a sudden. You'll notice that in the United States in 2016, all the articles were talking about equality, and now people talk about equity. You see, the communists said that the inner party members, they're the descendants of the working class. So because of historical injustices, because of how much they suffered in the past, they now deserve to have a little bit extra. They now deserve to have some privileges. Meanwhile, those who are the descendants of the bourgeoisie or the aristocracy, the sons and daughters of clergymen, they deserve to be oppressed because their parents and their ancestors did so much wrong historically. So this is now equity. It's equitable to take from the ones that historically have been the oppressors and give it to those who have been oppressed in the past. And that's how the word equity came to be. Now what's interesting is that people have caught on to it, and both the word equality and equity are something that most people have a violent reaction to, especially here in Europe. So a new word had to be created, and that word is now sustainability. So sustainability is the same like equality. The idea is that we need to give our rights, we need to give our power to the government or to some technocrats, and they are the ones that are going to create our lives sustainable. And all you have to do is to give your freedoms away. Give away your private property, pay more taxes to the government, allow the government to create inflation. All of this causes sustainability. But just like equality, despite the fact that it's a different concept, it serves the same thing. Like the way for equality was to empower the government. Only the government can create equality. And now it's only the government can create sustainability. So I was looking at this horror show that sounds really good on paper, you know, like a futuristic city. But I'm willing to bet that it's going to be billions of dollars invested by the government in order to create something that looks like this. And it's also very interesting that the previous tweet that I got was this. And, you know, like, you look at it and you realize that it is a prison, isn't it? And, like, you put all of the people clumpered together, and